what do you say, Geno Smith, to those who think that Russ is gone and so are Seattle's playoff hopes because of that? What do you say to that? Because I'm sure you know that is a large narrative coast to coast in our football-loving nation, Geno.
Yeah, well, I don't really get into that type of stuff, but, football's played on the field, and it comes down to the players. And, the thing about with Russell, I mean, what he did in Seattle and, over the course of his career here can never be taken away or overshadowed because it was such greatness. Won the most games, for any quarterback in history. And so that can never be taken away from him. The things that he's done in the community here, he has long-standing relationships here. And, for that, he should always be loved in Seattle. When it comes down to the team, though, it's similar to what they had back in, 2012, 2013, when no one, thought Seattle could be what they became, which was a dynasty. And, there's still a lot of those similar faces around who started that with Coach Carroll and Mr. Snyder and the ownership. And so the formula has never changed here. It's always remained the same. I think the parts and the pieces and the players, they've come in and out. And I think Coach Carroll and the organization does a great job at making sure that everyone in the building understands the formula for the Seattle Seahawks and how to win. And, that's what it takes. It takes the full team. It takes, all 11 on each side of the ball. And that's what we're about. We're a close-knit team. Everybody on this team believes. Everyone knows that we can go out and win any game no matter who we play. And it really comes down to how we execute and how bad we want it.
I've got Geno Smith, quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, here on the Rich Eisen Show. And so has Pete Carroll brought that narrative that I just laid out to you up to you at all? Does he mention this at all? How has he prepared you for the season in that regard?
I've been here. This is my fourth year in Seattle. And obviously I have a new role here on the team. But Coach Carroll's remained the same. His message has been the same. And that's the one thing you got to love about a guy like that is that he's not changing. His beliefs, what he sees for this team, this organization, how we run things, they're not changing. He has a way about himself. And, he's one of the better coaches this league has seen. He created a dynasty in college football with USC and did the same thing here in Seattle. So when it comes down to it, Coach Carroll, he knows what we have as well. He's not naive about this stuff. He's been around this game for a long, long time, and he knows what it takes, and he knows what we have inside this locker room. And so I think that gives him confidence.
Geno Smith here on the Rich Eisen Show. And what's your relationship with Drew Lock? Because I'm sure you know, in the same way that Russ is going against his former team, Drew was the one acquired in that trade for him. He'd like to be there. What is the competition like with you and he, Geno?
Competition has been great. I love Drew a lot, man. I think he's going to have a tremendous career. I think he's got a long career in this league if he wants to have it. And we've grown to get to know one another over the course of the past few months. And, what I do know about him is that he's an outstanding young man. He's just a great dude overall. Has had some really tremendous beliefs and values about himself, walks and talks and does things the right way. And then he has all the ability in the world. And so for me and him, right now it's about preparing for the Broncos, focusing on week 1. And we're in this thing together, and I think that's he speaks volumes about him and who he is and his character. And, as well as his team, it really rubs off on everyone on the team.